So for Meme Run Monday, I did a category called Ultima %. I would start a new game file, then make the Ultima Weapon as fast as possible. I've done this before for KH1 and 2, but this one would be different. This time, I actually had a proper route. I came up with one for 2 reasons. 1, to avoid the disaster that was the first 2 runs, and 2, I wanted to see if you could make the Ultima Weapon without having to beat the game first. And after hours of researching, routing, and practice, I discovered that not only could you make it before Skala Ed Kylum, but you could make it before even beating the Keyblade Graveyard. So if you wanted to use the Ultima Weapon on the Organization 13 fights and Xehanort without New Game Plus, you can do it. And I'm going to show you how in a hopefully timely manner. Take a guess on how long this run will take. As with KH2, you thankfully don't need to synthesize every item in the workshop to unlock the Ultima Weapon. You need to collect 58 unique materials to unlock the recipe, then gather the required materials to synth the weapon. These 3 materials are straightforward to farm. It's the Orichalcum Pluses that are the most time consuming. So the route to getting the Ultima Weapon can be summarized in these steps. Since we're starting a new game, the general route is to complete all of the Disney worlds and the first visit of the Keyblade Graveyard, then work on these objectives. For our Dive to the Heart choices, we're picking the Wisdom route for more MP, and the Mystic route to get magic-focused abilities earlier. Speedruns choose these routes because magic is your best tool in this game. Our journey starts on Olympus, where we're immediately going to see why magic is really good. A lot of the enemies we're forced to fight in this world are fire cores, so naturally, we'll be putting them out with water. Also, something a little unique we can do is save the citizens that are in danger. We can get a couple materials from the enemies if we're lucky, which will help us chip away at that 58 materials count. And when we come back to this world later, the people you save will give you synth materials. Specifically Mithril Stones, Mithril Gems, Lucid Stones, and Lucid Gems. This is an easy way to grab them without having to farm them from enemies or asteroids. In the middle of our good deeds, we participate in some property damage to get a magic ring, then continue making our way through Olympus with our water spell and other magic-based tools like attractions, then climb our way up Mount Olympus. By the way, there's an easy skip you can do. Get up on the sledge, then jump, air slide, hit, and repeat this until you get to the ledge above the waterfall. This skips the enemies down below you'd have to fight before running up here, and it also skips the sandworm fight in the alternative route up the mountain. Before Rock Titan, I grab a High Aether because we're gonna need it for a specific boss later, then I defeat Rock Titan and grab the Fluorite in the chest after him. Fluorites count as a unique synth material, so this brings us closer to our goal, and it's important to have for leveling up our Keyblades. For the Satyrs, we can keep guarding them until the game lets us use Trinity Guard to destroy their armor. After defeating them, we'll grab another Fluorite and Elixir and take on the Titans. Not gonna lie, this fight is... No, of course he goes invincible when I get the Grand Magic. Not great. What I do is use Shot Locks on the Ice Titan and Water on the Lava Titan, and hope for the Carousel for extra damage. Once they're dead, we fight a sad tornado and we've completed Olympus. For now. After a quick fight with Riku and Mickey, we get to our first Gummi segment. The Gummies actually play a big role in achieving our goal of getting the Ultima Weapon. Not only do we need them for an Orichalcum Plus, but they're also going to let us get a couple extra materials. The speedrunners actually came up with a very efficient route to get through the Gummi segments as quickly as possible. We'll be following it, and we'll start by taking an immediate right towards this waypoint. After activating it, we head straight for Twilight Town. Now, if you're playing on critical mode, this fight can be a pain in the peepo. I found the best way for me to get through this is to immediately do Meow Wow's finisher, use Kingdom Key's Shotlock to finish off this wave of dusks, then switch to Hero's Origin and use Air Step into Buzzsaw to build up Counter Shield. Charge up Counter Shield twice by guarding the enemy's attacks and use Wrathful Fury. Hopefully you get the pirate ship so you can use it to finish the fight. If not, keep using Wrathful Fury. For Demon Tide, Counter Shield Wrathful Fury is again a very effective source of damage. If you lost the form, just build it up again by attacking him and dodge his attacks. If you want extra damage, you can perform a Perfect Guard. This is done by guarding an attack from an enemy right before it lands. You'll know you've done it if Sora turns red while counterattacking. After the fight, we're gonna start taking pictures of lucky emblems. We need 80 out of 90 of them to get an Orichalcum Plus. And we're gonna start by getting all 9 of them here in Twilight Town. We continue the story in the woods. We're gonna use all of our tools for many of these fights. Shotlocks, finishers, links, attractions, whatever you need to survive. I recommend building up Counter Shield again while fighting the monkeys to use it on the fight outside the mansion. We'll finish up the story here in Twilight Town while getting the rest of the emblems and a couple fluorites. Completing this world gets us Shooting Star, a Keyblade with a better magic stat. So we're gonna use it along with a magic ring from Olympus. We can upgrade it once for an extra magic stat, and we do a bit of grocery shopping because we're about to cook. I'm uncultured and I don't know how to pronounce some of these dishes, so I'll let a robot tell you. We're gonna make sure we earn an excellent rating to make the plus versions of all of these dishes.
9 Soul Meunier. 7 Consomme. 7 Sweet Bread Poêle.
Our cooking training paid off. We leave Twilight Town and head to Toy Box. On the way there, we're gonna take a picture of this constellation to get the Moogle ship. This is faster than Highwind, so we'll be using it from now on until we get an even better ship. We're also gonna do a cool trick to skip this Gummi boss. As you enter the fight, mash either the camera or the button to turn your ship around, and you can skip fighting the boss. After beating the fight in Andy's room, we'll grab an emblem, mithril gem, and fluorite, and buy some mushroom and chocolate mousse dishes to make our EXP incentive meal. We grab some emblems outside and go to Galaxy Toys. After the Gigas fight, we grab a couple more emblems, and this high refocuser. We're gonna need this later for the boss of this world. We continue making our way through the story by fighting more Gigas and running through vents. I recommend opening this chest here for the gold amulet. Basically, this gives you bigger money drops, and it doesn't need to be equipped to Sora to work. Donald or Goofy can equip it, and you'll still get rich. You know how normally fighting Angelic Amber is a nightmare, especially on critical mode because of all the nonsense flying around you? Well, you can make it a million times easier by doing a trick to get out of bounds. To do this, you need to step up onto one of the animal dolls. Point your camera towards this large door while Sora is hopping on, press R1 to bring up your shotlock, and quickly press square when the gold square comes up. This should have you air step out of bounds. It's a bit tricky, but if you can get it, you can grab one of the mechs, grab this emblem, and camp outside the store using your exploders to damage the doll. This lets you defeat her safely and without frustration. Over in the next store is the UFO fight. This is another one of those fights that has a bunch of annoying garbage flying around trying to kill you. One strat you can do is use arrow guns to shoot the UFO. Otherwise, you can hope for attractions. Oh my god, this is... Imagine going on a ride like this. That was dumb. There was nothing I could do about that. Or use shotlocks. Honestly, this fight is ridiculous and highlights some of the problems with this game in general.
But CJ, you're just a KH2 fan.
But moving on, there's a mithril stone here if you need one. We do the Verum Rex minigame, grab another high ether, and build the cactuar in the play place. Next up is the final boss of this world, but we're actually gonna hold off on that until we get the ultimate Keyblade. No, not Ultima Weapon. Ever After. Alright, now to the Rap Nuzzle. On the world map, we're gonna take off in our Moogle ship from the waypoint we unlocked earlier. Turn around when we spawn in and head for the Kingdom of... For the first fight, we're gonna use flow motion to quickly build up the second form of the Shooting Star Keyblade Magic Launcher, then store it for the next fight. For the second fight, we can use arrow to quickly get rid of the armor off of the Chief Puffs. After killing 2 of them, we can hop onto the sledge and shoot several waves of enemies with Magic Launcher. Then finish the remaining puffs with arrow and fire. For the Reaper fight, we mainly use fires and shotlocks to kill them. We're also building up Magic Launcher again to store it for the Chaos Carriage boss. There's an emblem in the marsh area, and we're gonna start collecting the Damascus synth items. This will count towards the 58 materials requirement, and also lets us upgrade our Keyblades. There's several ways to get through this area near the mine quicker.
Sora, can you climb up to that ledge?
I sure can, Rapunzel. Never mind, no I can't. And once you're in the mine, there's another Damascus and another emblem. The pre-fight before Chaos Carriage can easily be done by using Magic Launcher's finisher on the first wave. Unfortunately, the monkey on top of the tower survived, but if that happens, you can just avoid the bombs and kill him when he stops. Meowwow's finisher can whittle down all of the monkey's health in the second wave, and we can finish them off with a couple hits. For Chaos Carriage, we're going to be using Ralph. Set the blocks up in a chain, use the finisher, and
Kaboom!
we can do this for all 3 phases and kill him very easily. This fight gives us the super jump ability, which allows us to jump up walls and grab items like this mage's earring. I also like to grab this high ether here as a backup for Mother Gothel. In town, there are 6 emblems. And I showed off this neat out of bounds strat to get a magic boost early. To do this, we set our FPS down to 30, then super jump off this building and do air slide chains. If you're in the right spot, eventually you'll air slide out of bounds, and now you can go around the buildings to get to the center plaza. To my knowledge, this trick only works on critical mode, since I think you need multiple air slides to get enough speed to get out of bounds. Once you're in the center plaza, style on these housewives with this barrel, and they'll move out of the way so you can get the magic boost. Just to note, this isn't necessary and speedruns don't do this trick because of that, but I personally do it in pretty much every run I do of this game because I think it's cool. After that, we dance, beat the lantern fight with fire in the carousel, then fight Mama G with Ralph. Ralph can one-shot her if you set it up correctly, but if not, we can use fires, shot locks, whatever we need to eventually beat her. Completing this world gives us the ultimate weapon. Ever After is super strong, and we're about to see why. After grabbing this emblem outside, we upgrade Ever After as much as possible, then spam shotlocks on the King of Toys to defeat it with no problems. 4 max shotlocks can defeat it. Use 2, pop that high refocuser we got earlier in this world, then use 2 more and he's done. Now we're gonna do more Gummi routing, and this part is important because it's gonna set us up to get the Orichalcum Plus from the Gummi boss, Omega Lol Machine. We're gonna tag this waypoint here, then head towards this glowing orb to take a picture of this constellation. This gives us the Endominion ship, which is as complicated to say as Anemone.
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
So I'm gonna affectionately refer to this ship as Endy. Endy's gonna be a huge help in getting us the thing we need to get this Orichalcum Plus, and I'll explain how when we get there. But for now, we're gonna go back to the waypoint we started at and head towards Monstropolis. So earlier, we skipped the boss before Toy Box, and we can do the same to this one, but we're gonna fight it instead. In any percent speedruns of this game, you'll skip it, but the reason we want to fight this is because defeating it will give us the repair kit. That's gonna make fighting Gummi bosses later much easier. The fights in Monstropolis are pretty much gonna consist of us using all of our tools. Links, attractions, shotlocks, magic, forms, situation commands, whatever we can use. There's also 10 lucky emblems to bring us closer to our goal of 80. So this world is pretty straightforward. Again, use whatever you need to survive these fights and collect the emblems on the way. Mike, Sully, can you help?
Let's see.
Never mind, I got it. The boss of this world, the Lump of Horror, tends to be a tough one on critical mode, due to him being a tank and making your damage look like you're playing KH2 on Proud mode. I like using Blizzard for that little bit of extra damage, and I use Ever After's form clones to melt his health bar bit by bit. Eventually he goes into the ground and you get this phase, where we can kill him quickly if we do the right setup. We can use Ralph by starting a chain with the upward facing block, then jump up and place blocks near his head. If our setup is good, this can one-shot him.
Kaboom!
Next world is Arendelle. We're gonna leave from the waypoint we unlocked earlier, and before we go, I equipped the repair kit just so I wouldn't forget it later. As soon as we land, I want to make sure we have a Kupo coin, mainly because the slider section in this world is a pain in the peepo, and the coin will give us extra safety. There's a Damascus in these bushes if you need one, and we can do a little shortcut here with super jumps to get onto this ledge and get an emblem. Then go up this wall to continue the story. For the rock troll, the easiest way to beat him is use Simba Roars, then use his finisher to kill all the deer and do a good chunk of damage to him. Then finish him with 2 max shotlocks. The Ice Labyrinth fights can all be taken care of by Simba. As soon as the fight starts, summon him, then use his finisher. Most of the time, that'll end the fight, but if you get unlucky and one of the enemies survives, you can kill it with magic or a shot lock. There are also 4 emblems in here, so we're gonna grab those to get us about halfway to our goal. Before we leave, there's another Damascus here if you need it, and we can make our way up the mountain and grab this emblem before Elsa sings Let It Go, and we get to the slider section. I like to use a defense boost here if I have it, and also make sure to eat and equip my best armor for this segment. Since we've been collecting emblems, you should have some extra armor to keep you safe. Once we escape that, we slide down the mountain to fight more frost serpents using Simba and fire magic. Next we equip Double Flight, collect Olaf, use Simba to get through this fight, and go up the mountain again. Near the top, we can get this very well hidden emblem and this other one here before we fight Marshmallow. For Marshmallow, we can use Ralph to destroy him.
Kaboom!
Then after the fight, grab this emblem, this force ring. Then I start building counter shield for a strat that never works, but I attempt it anyway because on the rare occasion it does work, it looks cool. There's one more emblem to get on these logs before arriving at this save point and Moogle shop. Here I upgrade Hero's Origin as much as I can and buy a Kupo coin if I lost it during the slider segment. Then for the storm section, we can use Simba to leap up this ledge and use his roar if the wind picks up to prevent us from being pushed back. Now to show off this cool RNG dependent strat. I start out with a max shotlock with Ever After, do a fire combo to push him past this amount of health, then... Okay, that wasn't a crit counter, but oh well. Damn it, the wolves messed it up. Oh, that didn't even hit him? Okay, whatever. Fine, we'll just do it casually because of the stupid wolves. Okay, yeah, never mind. This strat sucks. An alternative way to get through this is to spam fire, then when he does his DM, use small shotlocks to kill the little wolves. Once he's out of the DM, we can use max shotlocks and more fire spam to kill him. And now we head over to Caribbean. We chase the boat with Blizzard, use Simba to kill these anchor raiders, then after some sailing, we fight the Sky Chicken. Oh, I just can't wait till this ends. This world, by the way, not the run. Or, well, I guess the run too. The run is okay. Why does he have so much ducking health? Again, you should have extra armor from all the emblems we collected to help keep you safe, and other than that, you just have to use the aerial dodge ability to stay alive. There's not really a way to speed up this fight, so have fun. When that's done, we dive into the ocean and take a small detour at these crates to get this adamantite. Then before we fight the angler, we're gonna warp out of this save point back to the Moogle. Here we can upgrade Ever After, buy some ratatouille and crepes to get a better EXP meal, and stock up on ethers if needed. Then warp back to the angler. A reliable strat for this guy is to use Sea Fire, but not use the finisher. I have a combo plus on, so I can use 3 Sea Fires, then dodge, then repeat. It's better to avoid using the finisher because it's slow, and if he attacks, there's a better chance he'll hit you. After defeating him, we can get Ariel and a Celestriad on this ship. Then we have some boat sections, which I don't like and I'm not good at. So I get through them with a lot of resentment in my heart for the devs who thought this was a great idea, then land on the boat where you can use Simba, and now we're in Port Royal to collect some crabs. There are 6 emblems to grab here, and I'd also recommend grabbing the Sorcerer's Ring to have another good accessory. Also, if you're looking for a way to get a lot of crabs really quickly, you can use Favorite Deputy's shotlock on these barrels to get about 100 or so. When we're done, we're gonna complete our second flan. Basically, we're gonna dodge roll or air slide from cannon to cannon to shoot the flans flying at us, and occasionally hit the bell in the middle to shoot multiple cannons at the same time. It's pretty straightforward. Afterwards, we set sail, and before doing yet another boat fight, I stop at this island here to get more crabs to upgrade the ship for the surge ability. We complete the fight, again with resentment, and before going to fight the Kraken, we stop at this island to equip our best accessories, abilities, and leave to complete San Fransokyo first. San Fran is mostly pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of emblems we can collect here in one go, and a lot of these fights can be cheesed in some way. We can use Thundaga on the bridge, then for the rock troll, use Ariel to melt him. Ariel is good for big enemies with big hitboxes, so we can use her on enemies like this, and for others later on. There's an emblem in Hero's Garage, and during the Shugyo game, we can get 6 more. After beating the fight on top of the skyscraper, we can use Ariel to quickly melt the dinosaur. There are 3 more emblems we can grab before we rescue Big Hero 6 from the Dark Cubes, as well as another Adamantite and an Electrum. The Electrum is yet another synth material that'll count towards the 58 we need, and if you want, you can use it to upgrade your Keyblade. We save 4 of the 6 trapped members, then fight the Dark Cubes. I have a simple strat that'll skip his DM. You'll need Fire-Aga and Air Combo Plus, as well as the Rune Ring, Celestiad, and Sorcerer's Ring equipped, along with 5 Ethers, Ever After upgraded at least 6 times, and use as many magic boosts as you can. The strat is basically 3 fires, pop an Ether, and repeat 5 times, then use Fire-Raza into max shotlock. 1 2 3 1, 1 2 3 2, 1 2 3 3, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 5, 1 2 3 4 Fire-Raza, and max shotlock. Oh my god, I did it! Yes! We skipped the DM by spamming fire. And finally, we fight Dark Baymax. Fun fact here, as soon as you skip this cutscene, hold down R2 or whatever your shoot button is, and when you spawn into the fight, a little bit of his health will be gone. There's not much to this fight, it's pretty much just shooting him and dodging his attacks. Oh shoot. Why did the game crash? What happened? Hopefully your game doesn't crash like mine did. To this day, I still don't know what caused this, but I was messing with mods before running this, so that might have something to do with it. Hopefully? Yes! Okay. I've never been so happy to hear Hero say ow. Now we have one more Disney World. We beat the Kraken, then fight Davy Jones. There's a couple ways to fight him, with the safest way being to use links. I use Stitch at the beginning of the fight by making big electric rectangles on the top deck. That takes a bunch of his health. Then when he spawns tentacles, I use Ariel to quickly get rid of them. You can also use Ralph to kill him, though it's kinda hard to set up. I messed it up the first time I tried it, but the second time, we got him. After beating all of the Disney worlds, the game has you fight a couple bosses. One is the Demon Tower as Riku, the next is Aqua, who we can beat by doing a max shotlock into a fire combo into another max shotlock. Exciting stuff. Then we fight Vanitas as Aqua. I don't have a strat for this, I just kinda do whatever to survive. I'll use all of my max shotlocks, all of my magic, and go into the Spellweaver form whenever it's available. Basically, just kill him. And we've arrived at the last area of the game. This section is straightforward: beat the Gummi boss, beat the 10,000 Heartless fight, gather Sora's clones. Is this what they play in heaven? Then here I'm gonna eat an EXP incentive meal, and take the time to get to level 34 for an extra magic increase and thunder boost. For the Lich, I'm gonna be using the Nano Gear Keyblade's max shotlock and the Thundaga if I need it. Once we're done, we're finally at the home stretch. In terms of the story, we have the fights against Organization 13 in the Keyblade Graveyard, and Xehanort in Scala Ed Kylum. But again, we can get the Ultima Weapon before all that. And here's how. We can get our first Orichalcum Plus in this chest in the final world. Next, we're gonna get our menu set up for grinding materials. In this run, I equipped the Epic Games exclusive Keyblade Elemental Encoder for its Lucky Strike ability. If you're playing on Steam, the Steam exclusive Keyblade, Dead of Night, should also have that ability. If not, Favorite Deputy from Toybox has it. We're also gonna be equipping any Lucky Strikes we have on Sora, Donald, and Goofy. If you happen to have accessories with Lucky Strike, you can also equip those. Now we're back to where it all started, Olympus. So we have 3 things we need to do here. Grab 12 emblems, get a high score on the Sour Cherry Flan, and get synth materials. For the synth materials, you can go talk to the people you saved on your first visit to get some mithril materials, and you can easily grab specific ones while you're here. Another way to keep track of the materials you need is by using the Collector's Goals menu in the Moogle Workshop. Here you can see which materials you've already obtained. Our next stop is Twilight Town. Here we have 2 things to do. Grab the emblems in 100 Acre Wood, and mail postcards. The 3 emblems in 100 Acre Wood should give you 80, and along with it, the second Orichalcum Plus. Now we'll just buy something from the shop and start mailing postcards. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can get some cards from the Moogle, then save scum your way into getting the Orichalcum Plus. If you get lucky and get a lucky ring, I recommend keeping it and saving over your file you made before you started mailing. Obviously, this one isn't hard to get, it just requires some patience. For me, it took about 5 to 10 minutes before I got mine. Split. Nice. Alright, let's get the peepo out of here. 3 down, 4 more to go. So here's the part where we go to perhaps the most infamous minigame in Kingdom Hearts 3. And that's Frozen Slider. Basically, we need to get all 10 treasures you can find on the mountain to get an Orichalcum Plus. Thankfully, you don't have to grab all of them in one run, but you'll have to play it at least a few times to grab them all. I'm not an expert at this game. I followed guides by Soralum1 and Biscuit047, so I recommend doing the same if you're stuck on this. I'm able to get 4 treasures in one run, then 2 in one run, then the rest I grabbed individually. Oh. Okay. The pause buffering. Or something like that. I don't know. Yay! C for CJ. There we go. Completing this not only ensures we never have to do this again, but it also gives us our 4th Orichalcum Plus, and as a little bonus, Master Treasure Magnet, which will help a lot with synth hunting. There's a flan at the bottom of the cliff we need to get a high score on. I just use Simba and Shotlocks to deal with this one. Then the last thing we need to do here is hunt for materials. For me, it took quite a while to get what I needed, and I actually ended up synthing the second pulsing crystal. This is something else you can do if you're stuck trying to find a certain material. Check the workshop to see if you can make it and gather the materials needed. We have 2 things to do in Toy Box, and that's do the flan minigame and do more synth hunting. That's basically going to be what we're doing in our remaining worlds. For the strawberry flan, you can go around in a circle in the middle, gathering flans while you do so to get an easy high score. Then here in Toy Box, you can gather these specific materials if you need them. Next, we're going back to... Again, we're playing with the flan and synth grinding. For this flan, I take pictures of these specific ones. Three, 4, 5. Check out this dessert. Thank you. And then we'll just take a picture of this one.
Let's see.
I think you need at least 23,000 or so for a high score, so what I did here was overkill, but it at least gets you what you need. Then these are the materials you grab here if you need them. Over to Monstropolis to, you guessed it, play with the flan and hunt materials. For the banana flan, I like to run around him and cast thunders and thundaza when I get it. Apparently you need over 20,000 to get a high score, so just cast thunder and dodge him when he tries to eat you until you get there. And these are the materials found here. The honeydew flan will be our final one. I don't have a strat for this, pretty much just play the game and get a score over 15,000. This gives us our 5th Orichalcum Plus, and these are the materials we need from here. Alright, last world before we do gummies. Here we're gonna sail to Exile Island, which is in the middle of the map, and we're gonna open the chest in the middle of the island to get our 6th Orichalcum Plus. Just one more to go. And lastly, here are the materials you can grab from Caribbean. For the record, the grind here took me a little bit, and I ended up synthing my 2nd Lucid Crystal rather than trying to find it. At this point, we have all the materials we need, except a Mithril Crystal. We can easily grab one, along with other materials, by opening this treasure sphere. Okay, now we go fight the thing. Not this thing. No. After we get that, we're gonna go to the center of this map to fight the Schwarzgeist. Our ship, Endy, is pretty powerful, so it should have no problem defeating this thing. We also have the repair kit we got from the boss earlier to heal ourselves if our health gets low. The reason we defeat this boss is so we can get the Golden Highwind. The Golden Highwind is one of, if not the most powerful Gummi ship we can obtain, and it's gonna make this last part super easy. Now we can go to the Eclipse Stream, equip the repair kit and teeny ships onto our new ship, and fly around the giant ship in the middle to unlock the Omega Machine. There are 3 fights around the ship, and 1 on the bottom. Defeating all of them unlocks the boss at the top of the ship. Just shoot, use your boost for extra damage, use your repair kit when your health is low, and you should eventually beat it and get the 7th and final Orichalcum Plus. Now go to a Moogle shop and synth the Ultima Weapon. Yes! We got it! Oh my peep-o-w. There we go. Oh my god, it's beautiful. So there you go. Now you have the Ultima Weapon ready to take on the rest of the Keyblade Graveyard and Xehanort. I'll leave the rest to you, but here's a sneak preview of how powerful this thing is. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. GG's. Overall, this entire run took me just under 7 hours real time and under 6 hours in-game time. Believe it or not, I did this faster than both KH1 and 2's runs of Ultima %. And if you want to see how badly I screwed those up, go check out those videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next run. I guess routing made a big difference. And my frames are dropping. Nice timing, dude.